Hello everyone, my name is Orlando and welcome to my channel. Today is your second stimulus check update for July 21st, 2020. But before we jump into that, I just want to remind everyone that I am doing a $250 Amazon gift card giveaway. So you can see the rules in the description below. So go ahead and take a look at that if that's something that you're interested in. But let's jump right into it. So what's been going on with the stimulus check? Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my notes here. So it's been quite interesting. As we know, this week, probably this week or next week, we're really going to find out what's going to be in this new stimulus bill. As I've been talking about previously in my other videos, we know that the unemployment is about to expire, and I'm starting to see a little bit more pressure being put onto the Senate as far as what are they going to do. I'm really keeping a close eye on this because with the unemployment, I believe that is truly a lifeline of what's protecting a lot of the economy from falling off a cliff. So let's go ahead and just go over some things of what's going on. So lawmakers returned to Capitol Hill this week with the goal of crafting the next stimulus bill. That's what I was talking about as far as we have 2 more weeks. We do not want them to go into another recess, which will basically take us all the way until September. So they have to get something done because if they don't, I think it's just going to be, crazy as far as the economy goes. So while the Democrats have proposed generous aid to Americans, Republicans want more targeted spending. Now, what that's talking about there is that we do know that the Republicans, they want to kind of figure out where all this money is going, not really give a lot as far as to the American people. They want to basically say, you know what, we're only going to give give to people that make $40,000 and less. So that's where that targeted spending is going, and that's how they want to do it. Instead of kind of having this broad income level, they want to target directly to individuals that they feel that were hit the hardest, which is, in their opinion, individuals that made $40,000 or less. And I guarantee you that will be determined by 2018, 2019 tax returns, adjusted gross income. I can almost guarantee that's how they're going to do it. So we'll see on that. And the second set of stimulus checks could be on the table, but those payments could be reduced. Now, that just connects to what I was just talking about previously. So many Americans hope a second stimulus check is on the table and the next COVID relief package. Starting this week, we get to see if Congress agrees. Once again, this is not a bipartisan situation. We do have the Democrats who have already passed the HEROES Act, but then we still have the Republicans on, the Senate, I should say. They want to do the targeted spending. Donald Trump has said he is willing to send more direct payments to Americans. More recently, however, the White House has emphasized payroll tax cuts in order to get more money into the Americans' hand. Now, that's great. I do not, and I just want to emphasize this, I do not have anything against payroll cuts, but what about people who don't have a job? You can't giving someone a payroll cut who is unemployed doesn't mean anything to the person who's unemployed. So yes, that may work for individuals who have an actual job and go to work, but that does not help individuals who are unemployed. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said that he would like to bring the threshold to qualify down to $40,000. Such a move would dramatically reduce the number of Americans who would be eligible. It comes as Republicans and Democrats seek to meet somewhere in the middle between the approximate $3 trillion for the HEROES Act and the cost, and then the $1 trillion that McConnell has said that he's going to target. So as you can see, that's a big difference. $3 trillion that the Democrats have already passed in the House, and that's just, basically been pushed aside and kind of is dead already. And then you have McConnell, which they're trying to, the Senate's trying to draft this week or next week. They're trying to draft this bill, and this bill that they're trying to draft is going to be reduced from 3 to 1. So that's $2 trillion difference. Now, what? Just think about this, guys. What is that 2 trillion? Where are we cutting that 2 trillion at? Are we cutting it out of money going directly in the Americans' people's pocket? Are we cutting that from where? Where is that going? So it goes on to say, also on the table are a host of other ways to shore up the economy. Enhance unemployment benefits, which we talked about that. I do think that they are going to give the unemployment benefits, but I do not believe that they will be at the $600 mark. I believe they will drop that down maybe to about $400, $450, somewhere around there. The Republicans, the Senate, believe that $600 is too much, and it's making individuals not want to go back to work. So they want to drop that, and it probably will be a step-down system that allows individuals, the more money you make, the less money you get. And then it also goes on to say back-to-work bonuses, business loans. They're going to add some more COVID testing. Also give some personal protective equipment, aid to states and local governments, which is really needed. If you watch my previous video, you will see that I was very disappointed in not getting aid out to our schools and to our local communities as far as our kids go back to school starting next month, and a lot of these communities do not have enough money to buy all of the equipment that is needed for our kids to go back to school safely and, not have as much risk of catching COVID. So they're saying they're going to add it, but how much? We don't know. So, and then it says stimulus checks may very well still make the cut, right? Which stimulus checks will make the cut. They will. I don't know how much. I don't know what at level, but I'm almost positive that there will be a second stimulus check. We just have to find out the details, if it's going to be that 40,000 targeted, if they're going to raise it up, if it's going to still be a step down, but there will be a second stimulus check. And then he says both the House and the Senate Republicans seem want to do this. That's what I just said, is that most likely there will be a second stimulus check. The size of the checks may be determined by last minute negotiations. And if you've been following all of these bills and kind of figuring out how everything kind of goes, everything happens last minute. These guys stay up until 2, 3 in the morning and passing the bill at the very last second, trying to pressure each side to make a decision. And so that's what's going to happen this time. It's going to be last second. Try to figure out what we're going to do, trying to make put as much pressure on either side to come up with an agreement. And then it's saying, it's just kind of talking about the $40,000 income gap that was suggested by McConnell and how he's trying to really target individuals who he believes were hit the hardest. And then let's talk about some things that we may want to watch in negotiations. Because there are so many different areas that Congress is looking to address, the number for the stimulus checks may not be determined until lawmakers reach the end of their negotiation. Like I said, these guys are going to wait until the very, very end for them to decide on how much the checks are going to be, and to get down to the actual numbers that are going to come into your hands. How much money will you get? But that number won't be explained in detail until the very end of the negotiation. But the good news is payments could reach some people more quickly this time, now that the government is working to address the kinks in the first round of checks that included the stimulus loaded on debit cards that were sent in unlabeled envelopes. Now, what that's talking about is that we've kind of already put together this infrastructure as far as how to get money out to people really fast in this pandemic. And so with that structure already being kind of built, it should be a lot easier to get checks out to individuals, to find different avenues for them to get the checks faster. There was the debit cards, there's people that were disabled, people who were veterans. There's just so many different avenues that the IRS took to get money to individuals. And now that we kind of already, it's not all flushed out because there's still a lot of people who haven't received it, but majority. So that's been flushed out. It should be a lot easier the second time go around. Okay, and then it says Mnuchin praised the IRS, like I was saying, for basically shooting so much money out so fast, and then actually fixing all of the issues that were going on with getting checks to individuals. And then it says also too that any new funds, including enhanced employment benefits, will have to be approved by Congress, which could slow the negotiation, which is true. I mean, if there is new money to be given to unemployment, and let's just say they don't include it in this bill, then you might as well forget it as far as trying to get it done in a timely manner. But they would have to go back and approve it. But I still do not think that's going to happen. I do believe this $1 trillion isn't going to work. It's going to have to meet somewhere in the middle. He's going to have to raise that up for all the money and stuff to be fit in there. Let's talk about, and then it says Congress will not be in session starting August 10th this year. Each party will hold its national convention. For the Democrats, that will begin on the 17th, and for the Republicans, that will be on the 24th. So they're all trying to get ready for that. And once again, like I stated in the beginning of the video, if something doesn't happen in between this, then it gets pushed all the way until September, and this is the reason why, because of the convention stuff. Will we get the second stimulus check? Yes. When will it happen? It will happen the next 2 weeks. As far as the details go. So we'll have to figure out how that all pans out, and the details of the unemployment and everything out like that will basically be all flushed out in the next 2 weeks. I do still think that they're going to keep the unemployment. Like I said, it's just not going to be that it's not going to be that $600 is going to probably drop down. But, this is we're going in a good direction, because these guys are going to have to be forced to make a decision. The way I think of it is that nobody wants the economy to get crushed. And that's what will happen if this bill does not get passed in a timely manner. So guys, if you enjoyed this content, you found it valuable, please hit that subscribe button and that like button on this video. It really helps out my channel. Also hit that notification button so that when I release content like this, you will be notified. So once again, guys, I appreciate you watching.